Okay, hi everybody. It's Jeff Wellstead again, Big Bear Partners. My practice is typically kind of centered around helping people understand the impact of artificial intelligence in the context of brilliant and superior human resource management. Um, and what I get excited about typically is the fact that there is just this explosion of really interesting and fascinating technologies that are hitting us that are going to really help, I think, us understand the talent intelligence layer of our organization in ways that we've never been able to do so before. That's what I focus on. That's what I do. But having said that, I am here today with the wonderful Sarah Ratner, who is a fascinating human being that through my various trials and travails and plugging into and networking with all sorts of fascinating people over the course of this past year, I stumbled upon because she had something very special in the title of her company, which is called Ikigai Flow. For those of you who don't know what the term Ikigai is, I'm going to have the wonderful Sarah kind of explain that to you. But just Google it. Ikigai, I think is how you spell it. Is that right? And
Correct.
and just click on images. And there's a brilliant Venn diagram that shows the essence of what Ikigai is. It's an ancient practice that kind of originated in one of the South Islands in Japan, and basically has been proven and shown and documented and researched over the course of many, many, many years to have increased the quality and length of people's lives based on them following this wonderful, interconnected, interdependent balancing, if you will, of all sorts of different aspects of who it is they are in the context of where they are and what they do. But again, I'll have Sarah actually explain that. I was fascinated. I reached out and I said, Sarah, I'd love a chat about the Ikigai thing. I've never actually formally met somebody who has this title associated with them. And I'd love to know more about how it is you're bringing this concept, which I've read about pretty extensively, but bringing it to life, because I've had a real mixed bag of experience, quite frankly, with trying to maintain balance in my own life. And I've not done a horribly good job at it, to be perfectly honest. So Sarah and I had a conversation going back, I don't know, a week or two ago, and it was just so enlightening. It was really fascinating to hear how it is she was taking this stuff and bringing it to people's lives today. And boy, I'll tell you what, if there was ever a time, if there was ever a time in humanity where things were just like, I mean, flying across the room in a chaotic and unmeasured and clearly unpredictable fashion and causing all of us this incredibly uncomfortable sense of stability or instability, it's now. And wow, what a time for a practice like Ikigai to come and save us from ourselves. So with that, I'm going to be quiet and I'm going to now let Sarah introduce herself properly. It should be noted, by the way, that I'm an American who made the trip 20 years ago to live just outside London. She's a Londoner who made the trip to be basically operating in and around the Boston area, at least temporarily. So it's kind of interesting that we've kind of changed places geographically, but both of our practices are global, and our mentalities obviously are global. So with that, Sarah, welcome.
Thank you so much, Jeff. Thank you very much for that introduction. It's lovely to hear you describe Ikigai. You might do a better job of it than me. I guess the main thing that I would add, and I'd also question how you say that Ikigai perhaps can save us from ourselves. I would say that it saves us by connecting us to ourselves. And as you said, it's this Japanese concept that refers to a formula that leads to a long, happy, healthy life and all that that entails. And it really has three main components. So it refers to our joy, what we love doing so much that we would do it for free. Our purpose, what do we find meaning in? And finally, our value. So what can we get paid for? What does the world need? What can we offer that is unique about us that we can be of value with? And so I have come from a decade in fast-paced fintech startup life, where I joined a small founding team. I was COO for around 10 years as we scaled to hundreds of people, and it was a really high growth environment. We were growing 100% year on year for quite some time. And what I witnessed there was that really success comes from when we can apply these three principles. When you have someone who's working in their joy, their purpose, and in a way that they can uniquely offer value, then they are successful and the business output is more successful. So I started to explore that in the context of mindfulness, because I'm also a yoga teacher and I teach mindfulness to businesses and individuals in the context of how we can be successful in this kind of fast-paced world.
Right.
And something that we talked about was, how do you find your Ikigai and then not lose it, which I loved. And we'll go through that a bit today, but it is less about just finding this one thing and more about how we can mindfully team a sense of awareness and consciousness with this understanding of how we want to operate in the world for longevity.
Cool. Very cool. That's brilliant. Good. So yeah, I mean, this notion, again, that's in part what I think shared with you initially, that in my own experience, I seemed occasionally to stumble upon that Ikigai position and kind of suddenly feel really contented, really comfortable, really patient, really kind, very compassionate, and very understanding. And I just kind of felt like I was in a flow.
Yeah.
But wow, it only took a very short period of time for something to throw me out of that flow, because I guess in part, I didn't realize I was actually there and what that meant, and the value in that treasured moment. And so therefore, it was very easy to displace me from that position, and get me spun off in a direction that suddenly found me without joy or without pay or without, any sense of internal confidence and comfort that what I could bring to the world would be of use, would be of value, and that I could do something that I enjoyed doing. So, and you were very kind and saying, well, you just have to go with a new set of self-awareness and a heightened sense of awareness. You just need to go back into that place again. And you've got some pretty interesting practices, I guess, as you refer to them, that can actually help people do that.
And I think that, when you describe flow, this is talked about quite a lot nowadays. There's quite a lot of research that shows that if we can find our flow state, just briefly twice a week, then burnout is almost impossible. And burnout is something that is said to have affected almost 90% of the UK over the last year or two. So it's a real problem for productivity in workplaces and for humanity, because it's not a nice way to exist.
That's right.
But being in your flow doesn't necessarily mean that everything is easeful or easy. It's really about balancing this challenge and this ease so that we can be a meaningful, joyful, valuable work. So it's really about applying those principles either in that way to work, or, as you touched upon, to your life. It's not about just coming to a place of peace and standing still, but how you can build foundations that protect that peace when life is challenging, as it is.
Indeed. Yeah, there was that great quote, and I can never, ever remember who said it, but it's somebody who I should know off the tip of my tongue, who basically said something to the effect that if you do what you enjoy in life, you will never work another day.
Yeah.
Kind of something like that.
Yeah.
And I guess you're absolutely right, because when I was in flow, I felt like, I was doing loads. In fact, I felt superhuman. I felt like I could do even more, right? But having said that, it didn't feel like work. That's the interesting thing. So was it easy? No, it wasn't, actually, looking back on it. But was it comfortable? Yeah, way more comfortable than a lot of other things I've tried in my life and failed at, because frankly, I hated doing them. But yeah, good point. Okay, cool, good. Well, I shall leave it with you then. How does one find their Ikigai?
Well, thank you for trusting me today, Jeff. I'm going to lead you through a 15 to 20-minute mindfulness practice where we explore through some breaths, some meditation, just coming into the body, what your foundations of Ikigai are. And so approaching this with this kind of state of consciousness and awareness allows us to look at our Ikigai in a fluid way, in a way that is more resilient, rather than just, oh, that's it, I'm going to cling to it, and if that's disrupted, then I'm screwed. So I'm gonna lead you through some simple mindfulness tools that work really well for me in the workplace when I was in a fast-paced COO role, and there's nothing for you to do other than enjoy it.
Okay, great.
And sit back and relax. And you are so welcome to close your eyes. I'm going to pin myself here so that you can be the little screen whilst you enjoy the experience of mindfully exploring your Ikigai.
Great.
So yeah, closing down your eyes is just a nice way of coming into your own space. So allowing yourself to just notice how that feels, coming out of busy day, things needed from you, looking out, just closing your eyelids and noticing how it feels to be in your own space. And then take 3 deep breaths in through your nose, and then a big sigh out through your mouth. A couple more like that in your own time, your own way, anything that feels intuitively good. Just letting the day go. And then you can just allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. And perhaps those deeper breaths have just encouraged you a little bit into your body. And just notice how it feels after taking some simple deeper breaths. And then just noticing your body rooted down in your chair. Your seat is held, giving up the effort there, just allowing yourself to be fully supported by your chair, by the ground, by the earth. And then there's a sense subtly of the crown of your head, just gently reaching up so that you're rooted down in seat and rising up through crown of head. So you have this long, tall spine, allowing your structure to support you through this practice. And then just noticing how your physical body feels today. Is there any tension that you might be holding around face, around jaw, around shoulders? Maybe there's a sense of gripping around your center, your stomach. Maybe an unfolding of the area in between your eyebrows. Really just observing if there's anywhere in particular that you're clinging or grasping to around your physical body. And just compassionately noticing that. And maybe your gentle breath that's moving through your body can just slowly start to shift some of that tension so that there's just a softening, a releasing of holding. At any point, if you want to use a longer exhale to just ease that out, it's always there for you. And then just going one layer below, how does your emotional body feel today? Your emotional, energetic, spiritual body, however you want to understand it. Under your skin, how are you feeling today? Trying not to create narratives around why or whether it's right or wrong that you feel that way, but just lovingly acknowledging that's how you feel today. Making space for it all. A release of expectation and just a space to welcome all of you in. And then bringing your attention to your seat again, the part of you connected to your chair that's held up by earth. And imagine that you have these roots that connect you from your seat down through the floor to the earth, really stabilizing your foundations, holding you there. And start to just create a slightly deeper, more intentional breath in and out through your nose. Just a slightly longer inhale in. And a slightly longer exhale out. No forcing, no reaching for the breath, just allowing it to be like an invitation for your body to take in more breath. And with your exhales, imagine that you are breathing down through those roots. Breathing down through your roots that connect you to earth. And you're able to just release down through those roots any physical or emotional tension that you might have observed that you're ready to let go of. As you breathe out, you just breathe anything you don't need anymore down through your roots, through seat, through earth, back down to the center of the earth. Just gratefully giving it back. Anything you're ready to let go of, you breathe down through earth. And that makes space in your body to breathe in what you do need. New breath, new life. What would you like to welcome in with today's session? So as you breathe out, you let go of what you don't need. And as you breathe in, you welcome in more of what you do need. Breathing out, you let go. Breathing in, you nourish yourself with more of what you need. Letting go what is stagnant. Breathing in what is new, what is life-giving for you today. Whenever you're ready, just releasing that exercise, the attention on that exercise, your focus, and take a rebound from it. And in this rebound, you're just doing nothing. It's almost like you take a seat at the back of your mind and you observe lovingly in this state of nothingness. And in this rebound, in this space you've created, Just starting with the purpose part of Ikigai. What do you care about in this moment? What do you value? Just thinking about it internally, considering it to yourself. No need to make sense of it. No need to create a story around it. Just acknowledging what's important to you right now in this moment. What do you care about? Really simplifying purpose as meaning here. What feels meaningful for you? Just acknowledging that. Allow your body to receive it as a form of intention. The practice of just acknowledging it, even if it was really small and didn't really make sense. Just allow your internal wisdom to just feel into that, what you care about in this moment. And then keeping your eyes shut, bring your palms together and rub your palms together to generate some heat. So you're generating your own warmth by rubbing your palms together. Really create warmth. And then just place your palms on your stomach somewhere on your torso, so on your belly. And receive your own warmth. Breathe into your hands. And breathe out. And then with your next inhale, imagine that you're breathing in this warm golden light. And this golden light might look a little bit like a beautiful sunrise. It might be orangey or yellow, whatever makes sense to you, whatever feels beautiful, majestic to you. Breathe in this warm orange glow. And you're breathing it into your torso area, your center, your core, your identity. No need to hold any tension around your center. You can just release any gripping around stomach. Your hands offer the sense of your own touch on your center as you breathe in this warm orange glow. And allow it to spread around your body. Allow it to grow with each exhale. You kind of breathe it around your torso, around your body. And suddenly you start to notice that your internal systems are filled with this warm ember, this growing orange glow that's comforting, it's warming, it's holding you. It's also lighting you up. It's like turning on a light switch in your own house. The room was dark, and now you can see. You can see what you need in this warm orange glow. And so now just taking a moment to kind of sit back and bask in this feeling of being in your own light. And in that space, just in a kind of relaxed, effortless way, just consider something that brings you joy. Something that you really love doing. It doesn't need to make sense. It doesn't need to be profound. It's just something that today, in this moment, you think about, and the thought of doing that thing brings you joy. What do you love doing? Allow it to be so simple. Allow it to be true. Allow the feeling of this joyful activity to really comfort you and hold you in a state of enjoyment rather than responsibility. That feeling of joy just moving into your bones. What do you love doing? What lights you up? And then keeping your eyes shut, I'm going to guide you through a short breathwork exercise. And I will do it too. So if you need to look at me, you can. But if you're right-handed, use your right hand. Otherwise, do it all on your left. And you'll bring your middle finger and your first finger to the space in between your eyebrows. We're going to do some alternate nostril breathing. And just initially giving yourself a little massage in the space in between your eyebrows, creating space there. And then we're going to use our ring finger to cover our left nostril and our thumb to cover our right. And we'll take it in turns to breathe in and out through both nostrils. I will guide you so you can close your eyes and just listen to my voice. So with both nostrils free, breathing in, breathing out through both nostrils, breathing in through both, out through both, in through both, out through both. Cover your right, inhale through your left only. Exhale through your left. Release right, cover left with ring finger, inhale through right. Exhale through right. Cover right, inhale through left. Exhale through left. Cover left, inhale through right. Exhale through right. Cover right, inhale through left. Exhale through left. Cover left, inhale through right. Exhale through right. Cover right, inhale through left. Exhale through left. Cover left, inhale through right. Exhale through right. Release your hand to your lap, inhale through both nostrils. Exhale through both nostrils. Inhale through both. Exhale through both. And now release the effort on the breath, but follow your breath with your attention. So just following your inhale to the top. Following your exhale to the bottom. Following your inhale to the top. Following your exhale to the bottom. Following your inhale to the top. Following your exhale to the bottom. Keep that going in your own time. And notice if your mind wanders to other things, and just gently bring it back to your breath. Gently bring it back to your inhale, to your exhale. Bring it back to your inhale. Bring it back to your exhale. And then your mind will wander, because that's what minds do, but just bring it back kindly to your breath, to your inhale and to your exhale. Keep this going for a couple of moments longer. And then you'll just release that exercise and you'll take that seat at the back of your mind once more in this state of rebound. And we consider our final principle in Ikigai of what makes us uniquely us. We created space here, this pause from the busy, incessant thinking, by simply following our breath to draw us into us. And from that place, just acknowledging who we are in this moment. What makes us uniquely us? And it's from that place we can understand how we bring value into the world. And perhaps that's clear to you in this moment. If it's not, no need to work it out. Try to avoid working it out. Just sit at the back of your mind and make space for you to be uniquely you, as you are. And then we will close our practice with a simple forward fold, which you can do from your seat. So just start to fold down, chin tucked into chest, rolling over your legs. You might use your hands to support your head. Just some kind of little cocoon here that you create for yourself as you fold forward. And cocoon yourself in your own space. Forward folds just hold us in this grounding, soothing energy. So just supporting yourself here and acknowledging very simply who you are, what you care about, and what brings you joy. And then you'll gently roll back up through your spine with your eyes still shut. And whatever you just acknowledged, allowing that to be some kind of intention, nothing to remember, nothing for your to-do list, just information your body has received that you are able to take away. And perhaps there is something that you would like to acknowledge that you would want to take away from this practice. And now is the perfect moment to do that. And then we'll just take some gentle neck rolls. So chin rolls into chest. One ear goes to one shoulder, just to start bringing movement back into body. You might roll your shoulders a few times. And just thanking yourself for making this time, acknowledging yourself in this moment. And then slowly, whenever you're ready, bringing yourself back by blinking open your eyes and going really gently. Thank you very much for joining me.
Wow. Could use that just about every day. That was wonderful. Yeah, fascinating how I mean, you always struck me as a gentle person, but it was fascinating how your voice changed, and immediately, weirdly, my brain picked up that things had changed, and that and it started to kind of interpret it in a very curious manner. It started to kind of like try to investigate, like, ooh, what's that about her cadence and the way that the words that she's using? Oh, that's interesting. She said this instead of that. And now she's asking me to do things and to think in certain ways. Okay, I need to sort of, it was weird. I just kind of felt suddenly like I went from a very kind of like panicked, very loud, kind of sense of so many things happening simultaneously. I don't mind saying that I was late to this Zoom session because I was literally wrapped up in like, 5 different things simultaneously, pulling my attention in different directions. And so it was a bit of a fragmented mess coming into this discussion, into this exercise. I feel very, very different now. And it was especially magical in terms of the cleansing, kind of activities, and then asking me to sit in the back of my mind and to kind of observe. That was, to me, the most powerful part of the session, because I suddenly was able to stare at sort of an expanse. I kind of imagined sort of like the Duomo, like the kind of looking at a domed ceiling, and there's nothing there in that space. And I was like, well, then you said, well, who are you in that space? Right. And it was very gentle, but you sort of like quieted me down, maybe aware of an open space, and then asked me to fill that space with the thing that mattered in terms of what it was you were trying to kind of bring out. And yeah, that was gently and wonderfully very powerful at the same time.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience. It's quite intense to do something like that and then have to talk about it on camera straight away.
But it's great. It's great. And I would absolutely recommend, Sarah in her sessions, there's got to be such a powerful use case for this in the very busy environments that you and I are used to, right? I kind of focus on, hyper growth tech companies. You are in a hyper growth tech company, and they are not easy places to remain mindful and to stay chilled, because there is no chill. There is only motion and velocity in those places.
And I think that it's about welcoming in a bit of ease in order to be successful. These tools are to allow people to be in high challenge environments, not to hide from the world, but to be in the world. And today was like the generic Ikigai, but you can also target it. So if you're looking at productivity or creativity specifically, you can use different tools. So it's not about doing less to do less, but doing less to do more, I think.
Brilliant. Great quote. Wonderful quote to end on, actually. So good stuff. Thank you so much, Sarah. I very much appreciate that. I feel like I've just taken a year's worth of vitamins, and I'm now going to go do stuff. But thank you very much for this. And
thank you for joining me.
No worries. And we'll speak hopefully very soon.
Yeah, take care. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.